Halo, ni Kelima Dada, FC Leopard na watch Tao Ndani.
Wewe. Umesikia kenye director amefanya, producer. Why? Why Mr. Director?
Hata yeye ni hater.
Why would you do that?
Yeye ni hater kama mimi.
Especially on a weekend that both of our teams have won.
No, his team hasn't. Does he have a team? No.
Moro Newts wanaenda Division 1.
Thank you.
Have you checked on your team, producer?
I love it that way.
Nda commute.
Jaribu ni mute uone. Tutakosana.
Aone kama ata commute. Wow, good guys.
Yo, hi everyone.
Welcome to another episode of #ShengHate. Oh, Sheng Hates. Kizungu neno kwa ngumu, but nevertheless. Yeah, episode 41 of Tao Ndani.
We ngoja kwanza pause hapo.
Pause.
Tukiongelea episode 40.
Eh.
Nje tulisahau Humphrey Mieno.
Captain.
Na alijam.
Makosa nayo ni yangu. Hii wiki
acha tuseme ni podcast Mieno +1. This is podcast Humphrey Mieno. Shout out to Humphrey Mieno, one of the legends, midfielders in the country.
Weekend ataturumia, but yeah, a big shout out to our captain.
Mnacheza na sofa?
Yeah. Watu wa sofa set branch.
Usimurumie Mieno. Yo midfield fanya kazi wewe. Fanya kazi.
Wakiwa na Dalvin wallahi.
Yo, yeah. So guys, we are back for another episode. I am Makumi Tabitha.
My name is Irongo.
Shemu
kipenda.
Specify si Brian.
Nani ananiita Brian?
Utaload baadaye. Najua uko slow speed.
Oh, hey, by the way, jina langu si Brian. My name is Shakespeare.
All platforms anaitwa Shakespeare.
Na mimi nayo nikihate lazima ni tag. Si ati na hate nikijificha.
You say it loud and proud.
Na roho, and I use facts.
Okay.
We only do facts. No absolutes.
Huh?
Were you laughing?
Was you laughing for?
Were you laughing for?
I'm being serious.
I'm being serious.
If my
Share your money.
I do absolutes.
Yeah, I don't do
if my uncle was my aunt, if my aunt was an uncle,
to my grandma. Whatever. Anyways.
No, if my aunt had she'd be my uncle, but she doesn't, so she's not.
Damn. Wow.
Aitarakwambia konga nimeshika hiyo nini yote word by word. Ingine nishaishika.
Mimi ile.
Hebu niambie kama unajua hii. The weather. Your name is sunny in it. Yeah, it was the picture of the moment. The weather.
Yeah.
Your name is sunny in it.
Yeah.
No.
No.
The weather.
Watu wanashindwa hizi ni inside jokes gani?
One of my favorite footballing moments ever. But yeah. I digress.
Siku ya promotion ya Nairobi United unikumbushe. Niwafanyie. Ndoi. Ambia Jim angalia hapo.
Jim angalia hapo.
It tastes like promotion.
Hiyo ni kani. Hata mimi mwenyewe nenda kukumbusha. Wanapokuja na vikombe hiyo siku kwa field. Wote wakunywe.
Na ni vikombe latest 205. Ajua nimeweka nimeweka 205.
Yeah.
Juu tukipitisha hapo kuna mtu atasema wewe na hate. Mimi nasema kutoka 205. Wakuja na kikombe yeyote, mtu yeyote ako na kikombe kutoka hapo. Kuja naye. Hata kulipiga Everton, wewe kuja naye. Juu mimi najua ulipiga Everton. Siwezi sema kitu hauna.
Kuna caps 3.
Thank you.
Big club, big team bana. Speaking of the big teams, Kariobangi shots! Yo! Come back bana. Put some respect on my name. Put some respect on my team bana.
Sochieng, Denmark, AC Horsens na watch Tao Ndani.
Collins Ocheng. Hey, that's our former player, man. Unaona venye si tunajua kuuza watu. Denmark, AC Horsens. Team kubwa wana. Thank you Collins Ocheng. Thank you. Kuna picha fulani niko nayo yake nitamtag leo. Ako kwa hewa hivi amefanya Shaolin Soccer. Collins, kama wewe ni fighter utuambie. Mguu moja iko hivi, hiyo nyingine imejikunja hapa chini. Anafanya ile nini ya I think ni Jackie Chan ama Karate Kid. Ingine hapo kali. So, yeah, speaking of Karibangi Sharks, we played against Denmark. So this episode guys we're talking about the
Denmark.
Mozart bet. Yes, Denmark FC.
Denmark ukunda.
Yeah, so this
See
whole
Denmark Europe Denmark ukunda.
This episode guys we're talking about the Mozart Bet Cup which was happening. People are qualifying, teams were qualifying for the quarterfinals.
Big teams unaogopa. Big teams were qualifying for the quarterfinals.
What's a guan? Yeah. So Denmark versus Karibangi Sharks ended 1-3. Pale Ukunda Mbaraki.
Wanakunda.
Niko nataka kuona kama unapay attention.
Niko,
na by the way, team ya Denmark walijam ati juu game ilipelekwa Mbaraki wakasema hiyo si home ground yao nini but
home ground labda wako na Old Trafford huko na hatujui. Kwa vumbi.
Walikuwa nataka kutupeleka huko kwa mawe.
Hawajui hata hawajui huko kuna
huko kwetu. Ni kubaya.
Bora tungewaitia tu Razel.
Tuliomba, mimi niliomba. Nikaambia Mungu akiwa leo usitike tu watufanya venye walifanya Gor Mahia Mungu wangu. But who is God? Asifiwe.
Nwa venye unarusha subliminals tu.
Sini ukweli si mlichapwa na Denmark. I'm not throwing subliminals. I'm saying the truth.
Lazima utukumbushe. Walishinda, hawakushinda.
Pole. Braza pole. But ni sawa. So, the goal scorers wa Ngurumo wa Denmark FC. Then, mtu tulishout out last week. Alitusikia Biko Omolo.
My G.
My G. I was so happy to see Biko on that score sheet. Then, Guy Panchol was the second goal scorer. Penalty merchant bana. Atafunga always na ile dancing style yake.
Arala yara salawari. Holy show more.
He's not even Masai.
Pole, mimi najua. Najua tu hiyo.
Kuna ufala mwambia kufunze. Then the last goal by our boy Mali ya Mungu. Mali ya Mungu. Ali Salum is back. Mimi sijui nini maana. Kuna mtu hapa amedecide kuwatch movie sijui inaitwa The Pit sijui nini. Kwenye yako.
A big shout out to our producer. The other producer. Our co-producer.
Kenye una watch tunasikia.
Tuna watch pia sisi.
Yeah, and then so Ali Salum scored the last goal. An amazing goal. Let's talk about that first of all. The first goal was by Biko Venyetu nimesema it was a header.
Omolo, nimetoka Bond. Omolo.
And I've been complaining about this for so long and I will keep complaining about it because there's no man marking whatsoever. Biko tu alikuwa tu hapo na space. Now I am telling you Denmark FC players were in the box and no one was marking him.
Wako na jina mark kwa jina na wamark watu.
But yo imagine. Nimeshasikia najua ni Denmark.
Ile ya nika ile ya church ile ya. Iko na hadi.
And then for the second goal, that was a penalty. First of all, I'm so happy that unakumbuka last time when we were playing against KCB in the semi-finals, how we suffered because our team wasn't very experienced when it comes to penalties. We took only 3 penalties, by the way. We missed 2 and got 1. Otiala was the only person who got their penalty. Nani John Stanley Wilson na Geoffrey ndo alimisi hizo penalties zingine, but as of now nasema I can see there's a slight improvement. Yes, we consistently have Guy Panchol taking the penalties, but you remember Otiala is also very good. Tulikuwa tumeona last beginning of the season Also, Nani was stepping up. Kithimbali was stepping up. I know right now he's at Shabana, but he was also stepping up. There's at least kuna hiyo culture. So I'm hoping if we ever get to penalty shootouts, we are ready. So I'm happy for that. Then, hii ya mwisho for Ali Salum, I want to say it was a brilliant goal, bottom corner. Ilikuwa throw-in. Ilikuwa throw-in. Akashika ball, akasimamisha. There's a Denmark FC. I forgot his name because I didn't even see the lineups. I don't think they even posted the lineups.
Wali post 2 memes before game, alafu admin akaisha nguvu.
Wakiongea vibaya venye watakata papa. This defender, I don't know if he's a defender by the way, number 3, jersey number 3. He was trying to mark Ali, but somehow Ali akaweza kumpita, kashika ball bottom corner, and that's how it finished. He was so happy, alitoa shati akaonyesha.
Kafanya kaa Vini.
Ali Salum, ule mkali sana. I'm happy to see Salum back. I'm hoping at least kwa ligi this weekend tuacheza na Murangasil. So
Mnenda huko, mnenda mtaa?
I think ni waona.
Mnenda home.
Tuliwachezea Dandora.
Mnenda home.
Tuliwachapianga 3. Ilikuwa 3-0. Tuliwachapa 3-0 hapo Dandora. So tunaenda kwao. So I'm hoping at least with Ali being there.
Olena venye wa confirm.
Joge moja.
2. Draw na win.
Na sisi win back to back.
Like wamerudisha form. Najua ule coach mwingine alikuwa na derail performance.
I digress. Then yeah, so tumeanza kuona a few changes. I believe during that game tuliona Otiala alikuwa bench, the key players Ali Salum alikuwa bench. So we had like
Morata alikuwa bench.
A rotation kidogo hivyo ya Alvaro najua, but yeah. So I'm happy to see that. I personally didn't get to see the whole game because I believe we were watching the Rising Stars game. So yes. Then we move on. Oh, also Zalban Kutela, we ni mkali, but hapo finishing tufungie mabao, we ni mkali though. Then we go to the same day at Mbaraki Stadium. Bandari were hosting Gor Mahia, which ended 0-2 to Gor Mahia.
Hello, pole. Hii ni mipira ya supermarket ilikuwa inacheza Saturday. Ilikuwa Saturday. Kinsini wabaya. Tumedua double.
Yeah.
Si walituibia, walitupelekanga ushago kawa Denmark huko, walitupelekanga Ukunda. Wakauchezea mpira ya vumbi. Tuliwaleta mtaa.
Yeah. So
usiwaogope.
mi siwaogopi. Ni Kendi tu nahurumia, but yes.
Lakini sasa mi nitauliza Kendi. Kendi we ni rafiki yangu, mi nakuambianga hii mambo ya timu zako bana. Kila siku
nini
United, Bandari.
Oh, yes.
Tourist.
On that game ya Bandari, we saw some few changes. Last time when Bandari were playing with Gor Mahia, Bain alianza ka keeper. Ndio akamake ile mistake yenye Alpha alifunga. This time we saw Faruk Shikalo starting, which pia yeye aliona gize hiyo siku. Aka-concede bao 2. 2 goals were scored by...
Kuna mistake alifanya by the way. First half ama second half ikianza, I guess. Aliponea deadly.
Yeah. So Benson Umala. Shout out to Benson Umala. Welcome back to on his debut.
Come on, son.
Back to the league.
Come on, son.
Congratulations, man.
Guess who's back?
Congratulations are in order. Then the other goal was scored by Alpha Onyango.
Assisted by the only JBW.
Both goals were assisted by
JBW.
Jason
Wangai.
Jerome Bryson.
Wangai.
Unajua nimesema Jason Gia, Bryson na Jerome. Poleni. Jerome Bryson Wangai
the best Jerome in the world.
Assisted the 2 goals for Omala and Alpha. We saw a different technique we are not used to. Austin,
free kick.
anytime he gets a free kick and a shooting
No,
ndani ya box.
by the way-
And this one, it
Yeah,
worked.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
saying it
Ara si
wasn't
hivo,
good. Uh-huh.
I guess ini routine wamekuwa nayo kwa training juu game ya KCB by the way guess this was the routine alafu Austin akasema F it juu alienda kuchukua hivo Bryson alimake run
Yeah.
like najua ni routine wamekuwa wakipractice kaona Bryson amemake run so hata nilikuwa nadhani Austin anaweka kwa hanging line huko hang huko wanue kaona amekea Jerome.
Yeah. Jerome made a very good pass critical upon ndani ya box, which is almost the same thing for the second goal because ilikuwa Alpha alishika ball. I don't know who was that. Was it Izadin ama ilikuwa nani? Ama hata Izadin akwanza hiyo game.
Easy alianza.
Hatukupewa any lineups. Ukienda kwa Bandari nini
Isipokuwa ya
hawaja
Gor.
post. Gor walipost. I'm saying for Bandari. So you
kazi yake ilikuwa
What is
kupost
the jokes
memes
bana? What is
za
the jokes?
kifala kwanza huyo admin wao. Some jokes hata zina boo.
it's the same way. Hey, ukinikumbusha about jokes nakumbuka kenye huo admin wa Denmark alikuwa ametuambia.
hata heri wa Denmark unaona hiyo like ya kuwekelea like shark kwa meza. Sasa huyu mwingine jokes za sorcery kila time. Bro, game iko dakika ya 30. Ushaeka joke ingine ya sorcery. Game iko dakika ya 50. Na jana pia bro, ya jana sawa juu ilikuwa pre-game. Bro, zingine tu zina ball. Wewe mwambie timu yako icheze ball.
At some point tunafaa kufikiria like okay.
Tupe hata
Is it
updates za
time-
game venye zinaelekea.
Is it time now to start trusting in God?
For them, because we do.
But ni sawa. What was I saying? I was saying for Alpha, yes. Alpha and Bryson, good combination play by both of them to get
Combination.
that second goal. And the speed yenye Bryson ako nayo has been very key and critical for Gor Mahia. And this is why I've been asking that question is why doesn't he play at the left wing position? If like this is in the first game yake kwanza
Second.
gani?
KCB. After injury, hii KCB ya last week meetings, sahi tuko hii wiki yenye hii game imechezwa. Last week ile game ilichezwa Monday. Bryce started. Alianza. Chuoga hakuwa. Tulishinda.
Nimekumbuka hata tukiongelea kwa pod tukisema mimi nikisema finally mmepata tactic ya kushinda KCB because hiyo team yalemea sana. But yeah, so maybe he's cementing his position as the left winger. Maybe you guys need to actually give him time. Give him game time. Yes. I was listening to Coach Mihich Nini's inaitwaje post match. And he was talking about because for most teams I thought because it's the Mozart, I felt like coaches were resting players, first team players. And that's what I thought for Gor Mahia, the same thing. But when I watched the post-match and Coach Mihich was talking about how he knew tactically Bandari were prepared for the first team. And that's why like he switched up some players in order for kuwa confuse hivi kidogo. And then he talked about the field ya Mbaraki and he was saying how that ground is good for poleni nimetoka kunywa chai na sijui nini inanifanyia hapa kwa roho yangu. Yes, so alikuwa anaongea kuhusu field anasema it's very easy to play a passing game at Mbaraki more than a control game. And I think in a way they came prepared for a control game but immediately walianza kunini if they were like yeah we need to switch up our play. And then he talked about how he changed the dynamic of the team, how they were playing, switched from a 4-3-3 to a 4-2-3-1 to a 4-4-2. So he was talking about hizi vitu zote, switching into a diamond hapo katikati together with the center backs. And he was also talking about how Bandari, because we are so used to seeing Bandari do long passes, they were also trying the long passes in this game. Anytime wakishika ball, ni kushoot nyuma ya defense line, but I believe the Nini was prepared for them. The defense was prepared for them.
The best center back pairing was ready for vijana wangu wamerudi, nasikia
niliona
mzuri.
Sili, Mangulu,
Omija
na Simiti wote. I'm happy you guys are not playing with the back five kavinye tuliona nini ya Mashemeji Derby. But so yes, congratulations to coach.
One thing about Mihich, he has drama, anafanya kila kitu, but kuread game, juu ukiangalia game zetu zote, most of the games venye tumecheza first half, atuchezangi hivyo second half. Kama umekuwa ukinotice. Like akiona something is not working, like he's ready to go back to the drawing board, and he does his hizo mambo za Diamond nini ana switch it up, which meetings imesaidia tangu ingie tumekuwa tuki like atuja si ku struggle na results, but tumekuwa tukipata like result, like hata kama ni draw hatujafungwa, like nakaa tumeshinda, like first half hatuko tunakaa kushinda, second half tumeleta a game tunapita.
To some point I agree with you. To some point I disagree in terms of like the most example that comes to mind is Mashemeji Derby, of which for me I thought that was chaotic coaching on his side. Together, I don't know if walisort issues na bench yake, assistant coach na nini.
That now hata si like after Derby siliona kulikuwa na hiyo, that was like yeye na technical bench yake wao ndo wali mess up, like ile maybe walikuwa na plan but kuna mse ana feel hii plan haitawa kwa Derby, maybe coach ana feel ex player haitawa kwa Derby nini, juu lazima tu ikuwe hapo. Sometimes juu ziko kama ana feel Sharif anafaa cheze hii game hivi, Nama feel hapana Kapena anafaa cheze hivi, kocha feel hapana Austin akikuja anafaa, bro wanafaa wakuwa na wanasort mambo yao huko nyuma, of which I guess sahi wako from the reactions kwa bench after game ya Bandari, like hiyo celebration nini inakaa nikaa like we are like wako set sasa, wametuliza.
Okay. So let me give him the benefit of the doubt. Because my issue was, I felt like to some extent, Gor Mahia were winning because the players want to win, but it's not because of the tactics, ya coach. I'm just going to put it out there. I stand to be corrected if I'm wrong, but actually,
plumber is plumber.
No, actually, that is my opinion. I felt like to some point, Gor Mahia was winning because of Gor Mahia players, not because of the tactics. But in this game, I can say kuna improvement. Vinye nimeona, maybe it's the field, ama maybe it's because of the introduction of some few players, Ka Benson, na Bryson, na Sili, because you haven't seen him in a while. Austin alianza your game, right?
Obviously.
Morrison alianza your game? Yeah, so maybe he's finally got his team and his first 11. No,
Austin your game.
Alikuwa bench.
Alianza bench.
Yeah, but ni sawa. Basi, if he didn't start, it was a good substitution that they made. But I always feel like with Austin, you can always trust and hope and believe that anytime akiingia hata akiwa substitution, he's going to score for the team. So,
because he's the god.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, let me ask you, is he?
Yeah. So, no, Austin didn't start that game. Midfield yenyu ilikuwa
Rogers,
Wendo, Rogers na mlikuwa mnacheza formation gani? Na Philemon. Hapana, Philemon alikuwa defense. Philemon, Sylvester, Joshua, Geoffrey, Alphonse. Ama Umija alikuwa anacheza number 6.
Hebu nisomee hiyo lineup.
Gad, Philemon, Sylvester, Joshua, Geoffrey, Alphonse, Ernest Wendo, Rogers, Sharif, Levin, Omala. So basi most probably Alphonse alikuwa anacheza ka number 6 ka ile game ya Elmerich. But yes, so we move on from there and we go to another game that was happening. The one that we actually got a chance to watch was Nairobi United versus KCB, which ended 0-0 and they went on penalties to give Nairobi United the win. So congratulations.
To the
Is it
boys.
the only NSL team?
I think.
Wow.
Sai.
It's the only NSL team because there's Sharks, Gor Mahia, Police,
Ulinzi.
Ulinzi.
Imagine Ulinzi wako quarters, imagine.
Guys, nakwanga nimeandika notes kwa hii karatasi ndio nisisahau vitu.
Ulinzi, Police,
Kakamega,
Kakamega
na Murang'a
Homeboyz,
Seals. Yeah.
na Seals.
Nairobi United is the only NSL team in the quarterfinals. So congratulations to them. They played a good game. Though
They
I was a little bit disappointed. Not in either of the team, but in both teams. In terms of, ilifika point yenye bola ikuwa inakaa chini kwa floor. Ilikuwa tu juu.
ati tunapaa juu.
As in,
Tunapaa juu.
it was frustrating, my God. It was so frustrating to keep watching that game. Shout out to goalkeeper Nairobi United. A very good saves he made in that game. Omweri alianza poa, but it felt like kuna some point yenye alichoka.
Waliku
Same to
Mutinda alikuwa na
Kelwish,
mbuli bwana.
Same to Duncan Omala.
But awangetoa meetings Sabio Mala, it was at the wrong time.
He should have been kept on for like 10 more minutes.
Because
yeah.
The striker that came in after Kelwish was subbed,
Yes.
he would have benefited from runs za Omala kwa hiyo wing.
Na crosses zenye na make it to the box.
Like properly.
Yeah.
Juu waliona Kelwish ametoka, I guess defense ikalegea. So balls ilikuwa tu like kungekuwa tu na mse like anaseti tu ball huko.
Nivu.
Bro.
Na try kuangalia kama kuna lineups.
Za Nairobi. Sidhani.
Guys, hata Nairobi hawajapost lineup surely. So ni sawa tu. But Leslie obviously in that midfield ya Nairobi anakuanga, in my opinion, I feel like he's the heart of the midfield. Every game lazima anze. He does so much to clear balls, to create chances for other people. For the games that I have seen, I can't say in totality about the whole games that Nairobi United have played, but the ones I have watched, which I feel like he's been very vital. Kevin, the left back, I feel like even for him, he was very crucial in their attack. Though it didn't end anywhere because they didn't get a goal. For KCB,
Goja, Machaka alikuwa anasaidia kutoa hizo kuharibu operations hapo katikati.
yeah.
Kwanza akiwa ametakin, alafu anaeka shot huku juu. Anatuanga mpira. Deadly.
It is how. So, for KCB now, I also felt like the substitution of James Kinyanjui was too rushed. Yeah, I felt like it was too rushed. Same na Duncan Omala. I feel like balls zenye alikuwa na provide hapo mbele would have been very crucial. But now you have to give congratulations to Nairobi United defense because walikuwa najituma to such a point that even when KCB they try they don't get the ball. I'm trying to look at your lineup yao. At least
KCB wako decent wanaekaga.
Now when it comes to Naderiko Tanga, those two players. Who else?
I need to watch Patomo Patrick Otieno. Nataka kujua what kind of a player like properly kwa league. I need to watch him like two more 3 games za KCB. Nataka kuona akoaje.
Yeah, we can make a point to watch more of their games. The substitutions that were brought on for someone like December, a fresh pair of legs. We've seen how good he is in terms of pace, creating chances, passes zake, accuracy na nini. But I feel like with the kind of gameplay that KCB were playing, it doesn't favor someone like December. So, yes. Now, Kahiro came on as a substitute. But hata akona provide hizo chances ndio afunge. So, that game, it was
horrific. Horrific, bro.
Kai. Acha tusionge, acha tusipite hapo. But ni sawa. So they went on to the penalties, the 2 crucial penalties
Call me prophet.
Like, imagine this is crazy because when Francis Kahiro stepped up to take the penalty, Sheng said atamiss. And Sheng was so sure
bro,
like
body
Kahiro.
language.
Yeah.
Ile hata si body language, unaona pressure yote ya KCB. Undo striker wetu. Ujamaa kuna bao zetu 12 hii season. Atabang wallahi, atabang. Kahiro take step, akarudi nyuma, akaangalia alafu akaenda tena. Kajua it will be a long day.
I don't know why, but it felt like awako amejipanga nani anachukua penalty. So ilikuwa like ukijisikia tokea enda uchukue.
Alafu the same, unaona Nairobi wakipiga pena yao, ukifunga watu wangapi walikuwa nakukujia, like kukujia katikati
hivo,
thank you
akina Leslie hakuna.
Watu wamepiga magoti, wamekaa chini, bra.
Yeah,
body language too.
So they went on for the first 5, then they went another round because wote ilikuwa 4-4. There's also a Nairobi United player who missed,
bro.
Then we went on to start again.
His eyes out.
Yeah. And so we go to the second round of the penalties.
Another round.
Hey, Maruti. Guy.
He applied the wrong route.
Wow.
No.
Amazing. How do you feel about yourself? Very good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Maruti missed the other penalty. And so Nairobi United won.
Bro.
So, ye keshi hapo.
Kidogo. Iko wapi? Sioni team. KCB. Bro, Brian Olango, the keeper, hakuwa anashikika full time jo.
KCB, yeah. They had to go and comfort him.
I didn't look on him.
He felt bad. Aki, he cried. I
also
felt bad for him.
One thing about he's not a bad keeper, by the way.
Yeah.
Unajua shida ilikuwa, bro, like half of the penalties zenye zilipigwa zote alienda the right side.
But touch yake ndio
ile kuguza afiki.
Alafu unajua the crazy thing is, even when you see your players already missing those chances, it doesn't give you hope. Inakudemoralize, obviously. But yeah, poleni sana KCB. Nairobi United are through. Then we go to Police versus Kapenguria United, which ended 2-0. Hey, now for this game, first of all, the first 15 minutes of the game, Kapenguria walipeleka Police mbio. I was actually shocked. Sakari aliona giza. Kuna huyu, there's this left winger. And Brie told me his name and I forgot. Alikuwa amevaa jersey number 7. That guy, destined for greatness. Kapenguria United number 7. That guy is very good. So alikuwa anacheza wing ya Daniel Sakari. Hapo Sakari akicheza right back. Nakwambia kuna times alimchenga 2 straight times. Akamchenga ya kwanza, wakaenda kufika ball, ikashikwa, ikarudishwa. Akarudi tena, akafanya Sakari the same thing. Bako unaangalia Sakari unashanga. Nikki, what's up? What is going on, bana? So, I am very happy. I am very happy to have seen that. And Kapenguria United wako na fans. Unaona ile side yenyu ya Gor Mahia kwenye mnaimbanga zile wimbo zile na.
Angelina
Walijaza hiyo
kata
side ya
njoro,
VIP
njoro
yote.
mare.
Walijaza hiyo side yote. Sasa hiyo police fans wao ni si unajua wale kidogo. Kiacha tu niseme ni kidogo. So, yeah, that was crazy.
Nasema fans 50 kama hongo.
So, yeah, for Coach Ndaira Gije, we saw some few players started when you see what you call for first 11. Like in this game, we saw people like Cheche were out, Abudomar was out.
Anaitwa CEO mzima. Alikuwa amekaa huko juu kama CEO.
Akiangalia kando. Yeah.
Big shout out, man.
Yes, big shout out to Cheche. Bajaber started this game, but kidogo almost nearing the end of first half, akapata injury, so he had to be taken out. Yes.
I hope it's not serious.
Ilikuwa serious kidogo juu alikuwa na struggle kupanda stairs. But Hamudi,
Panda
celebrity. Panda stairs
kijana.
Yeah. So the goal scorers for Police FC was one of our favorite super strikers in this podcast.
Ni captain. My captain.
Your captain.
My captain.
Top goal scorer, super striker.
He's the
man.
GOAT.
Clinton Kinanga.
After Omala na Chris, he's the GOAT of strikers.
That guy is a menace hapo mbele.
Afande.
So, yeah. So Clinton Kinanga and David Simiu who came on to replace him.
So
now,
he saw you. Simiu. Guys, ile siku mtaona siko kwa iPod mjue Makumi amenideport.
yeah.
I'm just telling you guys. I'm trying my best to compose myself.
We saw Muguna is back.
Big shout out to J.R.
To a competitive game in the friendlies. Apparently alicheza against Rising Stars.
He played against the Rising Stars.
Yeah, but in this game we saw him start. I would still say there's anahitaji some more game time to go back to himself because tulikuwa tunaona kuna times alikuwa na lose ball hapo, so ka confidence ilikuwa shaky hivi. Then tukona personally for me, I haven't seen Timi Oyanda play. Timi Tidat karibu niseme.
Kichwa wangu najua napiga tu Timi kwa kichwa.
Timi Oyanda. Now, I personally think he's a good player in terms of dribbling na nini, lakini shida yake ni ana hold ball sana. Guy, tulikuwa tunampigia nduru tukiko achilia ball. Like he kept the ball.
Hamko mnaongea hivyo.
Tuliongea. Wacha ujinga. He held on to the ball so much to a point that defenders, Kapenguria United players were getting to him and taking the ball. And sometimes he would keep the ball. Then when he decides to pass, it's intercepted.
It's too late.
Like it was frustrating to watch. But your decision making ndio inafai change. Like kwa tu mtu wa kushika, ukidribble anaweza dribble by the way. Na alikuwa anashika hivi ball unaona 1 2 chenga. Lakini after that bado anakaa na ball. So hiyo ndio shida yenye mimi niko nayo. On the wings very good, anaweza attack vizuri. Akiwa na mtu mwenye watacheza ball ya 1-2 ataenda far.
So the name I gave him suits him.
Gani?
Saint Alan Maxim.
Jua ametoka
Saint
huko.
Alex minimum.
Wow.
Nkona before umemaliza na police Kapenguri.
Sijamaliza.
Haya tuendelee.
Then after that we saw Nani coming on, Francis Kahata, which personally, because I feel like it's been a very long time since I saw Police play, so I haven't been able to see Kahata play.
Bro, Rudy home man.
Yeah. Squeezy, where? So we saw Kahata coming on in the, I believe it was in the second half. Yes, in the second half.
Who replaced Baja? Timmy.
Juu alikuwa anacheza hii side ya left wing. Juu nini ya kwanza walikuwa wanacheza, walikuwa na score hii side nyingine. Nakwambia hii side nyingine ni kama unaweza jua ni side gani.
Si ndio hii side yenye mimi nashinda nimefanya mkono hivi. By the way me left na right kidogo chenga mbaya.
Yes, so nilikuwa naona kuna watu nimesahau kusema wenye alicheza. nini anaitwaje Marvin Abwire. Nilikuwa naona. Now, here's the thing. Nimekuwa nikicomplain kuhusu man marking, but I feel like Kapenguria United are a team that can really capitalize on that.
Wana deal na players one on one hivyo.
Exactly. Kenya walikuwa nafanya ni actually walikuwa na kutumia 2 players. Juu niliona hiyo kitu na Mavo kishika ball 2 players wanamkujia. Nini hivyo wana move hivyo haraka and they have speed. I guess the average age hapo ni maybe kitu 21 ama 24 hapo. So they're very young. They can keep running and running hadi mwisho. So yeah, we move on from there. Then we go to...
Commentator alikuwa anaitaje number 6 wa Kapenguria?
Miss June nilikuwa na watch game live.
Kapenguria 6. Pole. Guy, uko serious leo tuendelee?
Staki jokes zako.
Staki story mob, staki. Tuendelee.
Hey. Kai, na feel tutapose but si sahi. Kuna kitu nataka kuangalia. Ulinzi FC versus Bidco. That happened after Police na Kapenguria.
Big team.
Yes. Ulinzi scored 2 goals that was scored by Yakin. And the 2 assists were by one and only Boniface Mushiri.
Best kick taker.
After Austin.
Tao Ndani.
Yeah.
Unajua nikicheka hiyo video nilimwambia lazima useme best free kick taker. Sawa, lazima useme. Alafu anacheka anasema hapana nisiseme. Mwambie lazima useme. Mushiri, utasema ama hii video tushoot na akasema alafu after kusema anacheka. Nashangaa kwani uamini wewe ni best.
But Mushiri is so chill.
Yeah, he's a very cool guy by the way. I know.
No, he's clicked no umeenjoy. Ile time umeenjoy ana click.
Yeah, so I digress. For Ulinzi, I was a little bit shaken in terms of, we know in this game awako nacheza, what is it called? 3 players. So they had traveled for the Rising Stars camp. Javano Mondi, Telena na Brian.
Javinho.
So, and in my opinion, I feel like those are crucial players for right now for Lindsay. Yes. And then someone else I have honestly missing him on that field is Riggs. I don't know what happened, but yes. But I was equally impressed.
Nani alisema wewe go tulia nataka kucheka venye ulincheka last week.
Yako yezi topi. Hiyo yako Arvalu.
Impressive.
Impressed. Mimi niko sawa na impressed yangu. I was highly impressed by the goalkeeper wa Ulinzi, Emuri.
Mwenye alisiti for Riggs.
Emuria. Because I wouldn't lie, I felt bad for Bidco. Because even the same way na Kapenguria, the first minutes of the game, they pressed so much. Tulikuwa tunakaa hivi, na unajua tuko hapo na Bri ni fanu Ulinzi. So alikuwa anapiga nduru kama mwenda wazimu wakiwa na Chemu. Walikuwa naona giza. Chemu alikuwa huko chini. Si unajua tu wakiongea tu unasikianga tu kwenye huko. So Bidco really did press a lot. Na Emuria had so many chances za kusave. Like, alikuwa anapata ball hivi, anasave. I would say he has stepped in for the shoes Riggs, which I still think they are very big shoes to fill, but he's impressed me very well. So shout out to Emuria.
By the way, Ulinzi nikawa walitake advice ya Bri seriously.
Gani yo?
Aliwaambia wasign Rooney, na kwa bench yao kuna boy alikuwa anaitwa Rooney. Sasa sijui kawa alimtoa Quickmart. Alimtoa wapi? Wow. But Isa Lumumba alicheza aje? Acha niulize kuhusu vijana wangu. Samunya, Amaton.
Samunya alijaribu.
CB.
Alikuja after game akatusalimia.
Nakuru ndo mtaa.
What was I going to say? Oh, for the first goal ya Ulinzi. Goalkeeper wa Bidco alitoka kuendea ball ikagongwa nyuma yake, and kulikuwa na defender hapo, but position yenye ball ilikuja, because ball ilikuja like to this side, unaona kama amesimama. So the only thing maybe angefanya ni kugonga hivi na hawezi jeni defender, so he just had to let the ball go in, like reflexes zake zingemfanya inue go hivi nini. So that was the first goal yenye Akin alifunga.
Super sub.
Yes, true. Also for Bidco, I'd give Nderitu, yes, goalkeeper wao, he was equally good because kuna point yenye ilifika after like the first 20 minutes the Bidco were pressing very hard. When Ulinzi now got their heads into the game, they started pressing, and Nderitu was the guy. I know he conceded 2 goals, but he was the guy who like made Bidco look very decent. And man, I felt bad for them. Lakini nilikaa hivi na waangalia tu aki players wa walikani kama wamechapwa beating. Ilikuwa inauma, but ni sawa. The front three ya Bidco also was good. Kwanza we've talked about nani Asiago. Do you remember Clinton Asiago?
Yeah.
And he's equally very good. Jezi number 22 mgongoni.
Ando nilikuwa nataka kuambia jezi number 22. Hiyo picha yake itoka kwa kichwa.
Yeah. So Asiago is a good player. I hope even if Bidco goes down, there's a team that can look at him and say, Inshallah, you have talent, you know.
If they go down.
Yes.
Washuke wote.
That's what's up. We go on to Kakamega versus Homeboyz. Kakamega Homeboyz versus Shabana.
That's your time, Makumi. Thank you very much. Jokes ahead.
Shabana Nemo. Tore Bobby. Tuliamba? Niki ingine ilikuwa gani? Vaisya. Kura. Shabana yetu ilichapwa. Walionyeshwa ile kitu.
Walishabwa makofi.
Yo, first of all, we weren't at the stadium to watch it, so tulikuwa tunatry kuwatch through simu, but at the same time we were watching another game hiyo ya Ulinzi na Bidco, so our attention wasn't fully on the game. But the moments that we would watch, ilikuwa unasikia Mchira ameshika ball, ndio hiyo hapo mbele wame create chance, sijui Kithimbali ndio hiyo amepata chance, wana create nini, but Kakamega were on top in terms of like goalkeeping na defense yao. Then finally we see a goal from ilikuwa Moses Shuma akagongea.
Utagongewa. Nasema venyewe ni mfani hadi unajichekelea.
Nakumbuka jana Chembu alikuwa anaambia nini Bidco, mnagongewa. Wow. So Shuma and Henry, not Henry, oh my god, what's his name? Fred
Madividi.
mwenye alipata assist
Ya Mudavadi. Him, wewe tumuite him ama they.
Kevin. Why did I think Fred? Kevin. That's why I write notes, because I forget. Talking about almost 66 players in a nini ni crazy sana.
Abudoma players.
So Shuma crosses to Kevin crosses into the box, ikende kapata Moses Mudavadi akafunga bao, a good goal which I don't think kipange shika. Then there was some calm, watu wakatry to create more chances, and then we see, would you like to read that statement ya Shabana kidogo?
Yeah, so Shabana
scored a goal. It was ruled for offside. No, what happened was, apparently when Shabana scored, we angalia article yako uko nayo hapo?
Sindio already.
Sawa.
Niko set kama geometry. Bad joke.
Wow.
So Shabana have written to the Chief Executive Officer of the Football Kenya Federation, FKF.
Yeah.
The title reads, Official Protest over Poor Officiating During Mozart Cup Round of 16 match against Kakamega Homeboyz. Dear sir, nisome yote?
Soma the crucial detail.
So wanasema wana register a strong protest concerning your game, which led to them being knocked out by Kakamega Homeboyz.
Yeah.
Oh God, mbona wampigia simu sahi? which the match was made, wanasema like officiating was bad.
Yeah.
So like hata si ati ni officiating moja. It was a couple of them. At is the count, wanasema if this kind of officiating is allowed to continue, we risk turning our football matches into which clubs have invested heavily time, money, and talent into battlegrounds.
Yeah. Sini battlegrounds
Damn.
hizo zenye wanapigania.
The credibility of the game is at stake if not urgently addressed. So wanasema wameaddress mambo na refereeing nini
Yeah.
alafu wakasema in the light of this we demand the following: one, an immediate and transparent review of the officiating in the Shabana versus Kakamega Homeboyz match, which particular attention should be put on the disallowed goal ya Dennis Okoth, disciplinary measures against the match officials involved if found guilty of negligence or bias, a formal assurance from the FKF that urgent steps are being taken to restore faith in officiating and protecting integrity, na mwisho in the spirit which me thinks this won't happen, by the way. In the spirit of fairness and integrity, we strongly urge the governing body to recall and order the replay of the fixture and the match outcome was fundamentally influenced by unjust officiating. Wanataka replay
Yeah.
the game which sioni itakuwa tatanishi. Yours sincerely, Dr. Elizafan Kerama, Secretary SG Shabana SFC.
Wow. Yeah, so apparently what had happened was Austin alifoul Homeboyz defender, and by that time wakapata ball and Okoth went ahead and scored. But apparently, and I'm putting this quote on quote, apparently
allegedly,
the referee had already alikuwa amepuliza kipenga by the time that Okoth was scoring. So the goal was ruled off because the referee had
already blown the whistle.
Yes. So this is what is in question by that time. Was that really a foul? Should the goal have been recalled off? Did the referee actually blow the whistle? When the goal was being scored, was it before the goal was scored, during the scoring of the game, or after scoring of the goal? So, yeah.
And this?
I was going to say this is the second case that is happening. If Shabana do decide to take the case to court.
Yeah.
Because Mara and AFC Leopards are still settling their disputes on who now is supposed to play. And yeah.
Wakipeleka watachelewesha our double.
Your double what?
Si our double after league. Tukatafika finali. Huku umelewa? Wale.
Ni juu there's many steps into kufika finali.
Ndo nasema like kwanza inaweza take time, teams zitacheza zicheze alafu sasa kabla wamali, but sidhani ita replay according to Sheng thoughts.
Yeah, so I hope they sort out the issue very quickly. One standout thing I saw in this game was Coach Baraza was really hell-bent on winning this game, in terms of, I haven't seen in a while Shuma and Henry Omolo playing at the same time.
Like together.
Which we saw in that game. So I was just like, oh, okay, is this a 4-4-2 happening? Because you have two strikers up front. And we know how good they are, both of them.
Yeah.
I think Henry Omolo right now has like 3 or 4 goals. And Shuma is on 14 goals in the league, that is. So, both of them up on Bele, they're very good. In terms of Shabana, sasa hapo sijui, because the problem is Shabana do create very many chances, especially for this game. Finishing or maybe you'd say Kakamega defenders were really doing their job very well, because Shabana are a good team. We know when they create chances they always score, and they're not a team that depends on one player to score. because ukiona like emphasis on other teams, for example Kakamega na kwanga sometimes shika ball ni pass to Shuma afunge hivyo. So yeah, so I hope they resolve that issue soon and very soon. Then to finish us off, we have Murang'a Seal versus Kibera Soka, which ended 5-1. And let me say, first of all, this is a different Murang'a. This is not the Murang'a that we know. Because the goals that they were scoring, how walikuwa nacheza tiki-taka. Like pass,
kwanza
pass,
Major
pass.
alifunga, Maina alifunga.
Yeah, Maina opened the score sheet for Murang'a Seals. I guess hiyo kitu iliwapea hope
Senior.
ya kufunga. Then soon after Kibera waka equalize, but then after that we saw Victor Haki was on the score sheet with 2 splendid goals. And for the second goal it was a corner kick. Ilipata Haki tu hapo tu mbele. Like ilikuwa tu corner kick ikakuja direct kwa mguu akafunga. Very easy soft goal. And it was like that. Titus Kapchanga actually
anaitwa Kapucha.
Kapchi. The funny thing is when that Murang'a Seals game was starting, before it started, Bri alikuwa ananiuliza na Kapchanga kwani iliachanga kucheza ball. Kama mimi hata sijui. Bado wako huko sijui nini. And now to see him on the score sheet, you are like, wow, congratulations. That's nice. And then Wilson Kamau was the one who scored the last goal for Murang'a Seals. And let me say, that was a splendid goal. Top beans. Man, if you have time, go and watch that Murang'a Seal highlight. And I know there's not so much about the game because it was the goals that was scored.
Goals come highlights.
So you can go and watch the goals highlights and top notch. The only goal scored for Kibera Soka was for Elvis Vida. Was the one who scored. Kibera is a good team. Actually, I know right now kwa NSL hawayuko ile top nini. I think wako around number 6 hapo.
Ni Kibera Soka, ni Kibera United.
I think so. Mimi nimesoma vibaya. Acha nikuangalilie.
Hiyo ni zile. Acha nione peleso wako kote huko.
Kibera Soka. KSFC. So, yeah. There wasn't so much to speak about on that game, but I would just say I personally am so happy that Murang'a Seal walisack their former coach because we are seeing a different Murang'a Seal. So, yes, we are going to face them this weekend in the Premier League. So,
in Murang'a.
Ni venye tu akisiezi travel kwenda huko.
Lakini weekend tuko na vitu mingi za kufanya.
Weekend kuna vitu mingi za kufanya, but I reckon that is going to be a very, very, very
be a belter.
A beautiful game to watch. But so we digress from the Mozart Bet Cup. Now, would like to highlight a few things for the Rising Stars. So the final squad.
Uko serious ni kama ni kesi. I'd like to highlight a few things. Uko na nini tusome ka tumedhonga?
Line up.
Like the final squad, the 25-man squad.
Yes.
That is winning the AFCON under 20.
So the 25-man AFCON squad under 20. Goalkeepers Kevin Odor wa Nairobi United.
Yeah.
Clifford Oduor wa Bidco United. Bernard Jairo, Kariobangi Sharks. Defenders are Baron Ochieng, Sofapaka, Humphrey Obina, Murang'a Seal, Jackson Imbiaka, former Mombasa Elite, Joseph Bate, Joseph Bate, or Mofa, Manzur Okwaro, KCB, Amos Wanjala, biggest fan, Athletic Club, Telena Ochieng, Ulinzi Stars, Collins Ochieng, AC Horsens, midfielders Kevin Wangaya, unattached, Emilio Brian Ulinzi, Irad Mshindi, former Musingu Scorpions captain, Mark Shaban, Gor Mahia,
of the greatest club in the world,
Humphrey Aroko, Kariobangi Sharks, Aldrin Kibet, Nastic, Kelly Madada, AFC, attackers Hassan Beja, AFC, Ezekia Umuri, Shabana, Eli Owande, Al Nasr, William Gitama, Bandari, Javan Omondi, Ulinzi, Lawrence Ouma, Mofa, Oliver Machaka, Kakamega Homeboyz. Now, guys, that is the final squad. I'm happy. I'm happy about the squad. I'm confident in the squad. I am just really, really confused in terms of when it comes to Henry Omolo. Because I think on this whole attackers, sidhani kuna mtu anaweza fikia Henry Omolo.
Ukisema attackers unajua wingers wako.
Wote.
Attackers as in striker because we barely have one.
That's true. Because hapa I think it's Mark Shaban na Oliver Machaka.
I'd take Shaban any day.
Over Henry Omolo?
Over Machaka.
Oh, yeah.
As my starting striker.
Because even now, you ndio kitu mimi and confused because I feel like, or maybe let's just say Henry Omolo doesn't fit into the squad ya Coach Salim Babu. You know, you can be good when you play for your club, but then when it comes to the national team, muendanishi vizuri, you know. So I'm hoping that is the issue. But we've seen how good Henry Omolo is. Like, personally, I'm a very big fan of his work. Is there someone else like you'd raise a shadow? Not a shadow, an eyebrow. A shadow of doubt. Or someone you'd like to have seen on that squad.
If they were younger, maybe, but sahi hapana.
Mimi, it has to be Andreas. Andreas Ayuko, yeah. He's currently working on the trial, so he couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Same to Stanley Wilson, which I also think would have been a good addition in that midfield.
But kwa hii midfield, bro, unajua headache ingekuwa Stano ako hapa, Andreas ako hapa. Haya, we nipe starting nini ya hiyo midfield. Juko na Wangaya. Unaona kazi anapiga hapo kati.
Makshaban kwanza amewekwa kama midfielder.
Yeah, uko na
uko na Aroko.
Uko na Emilio.
Very good.
Hey.
Uko na Kibet.
Brah.
Na Kelly.
Brah. Wanga very bad. Anyways.
I personally haven't seen much of Irad Mshindi, so I can't.
Do I know him?
No. I can't even.
Tutawatch tu kwa TV.
Tutawatch.
Ama tukienda Egypt soon.
Alhamdulillah tutaenda huko. Ama mtu anafaa kusemaje? Inshallah tupatane Egypt. Brian Emilio, the other Ulinzi Stars.
Proper player, by the way.
Yeah. So upper shouts when it comes to attackers personally. Impressed to see, hopefully,
Malia Taifa.
Muri,
yeah.
Javan.
Omondi, Ulinzi Stars, best dribbler in the country.
Javan
Omondi, best dribbler in the country, man.
Alafu pale left back. Ni left back ama ni right back? Telena.
Okay, I would like to see a matchup.
Yeah. Ni left back. Wajua hiyo defense venye imeshona wewe. Uko na captain huko. Assistant captain na captain. Uko na
Baron, Manzur, Amos Wanjala.
Alafu Telena.
Left tuweke Telena. Kai, wako sawa.
I'll not wish to be Coach Babu like right now. Singewaitaka kwa viatu zake.
We watched the game Rising Stars versus Tusker, although they didn't play their best, honestly, because I have seen a much better performance from them. But they have individual brilliance. That's the thing. Now, I think the only part that is missing ni kumesh your squad pamoja. But your back four, Wanjala, Manzur, kwanza Baron when mnuma Baron is amazing, my God. Throw-ins, tuko na throw-ins, tuko na corner kicks, tuko na runs zenye umake na press resistant. We jaribu uende Baron utaanguka we mwenyewe. Si ndio nasema like msee anakaanga hivi amekauka.
Na una watch Tao Ndani.
Asante Baron. Thank you so much Baron for that intro. But yeah, goalkeepers mtu tu na wish tu angekuwa hapa. Unajua nani? Kakamega Homeboyz finest.
Omola, nimetukubonda ama nani?
Na goalkeeper.
Wa?
Wanzala.
Si ndo nakuuliza
Si
wa?
goalkeeper. Nye kwenda huko hata kuna kumbuka nani, sijaribu kujifanya hapo venye unakumbuka. I think that would have been a good addition to our goalkeepers because tumeona, I don't know, did he play against Shabana in this game? Let me see if he was the one on goal.
He's still there.
Ungekuwa mtoto mzuri ungekuwa ushaniangalilia.
Wewe mtu unasikia? Wewe mtu si ubonge kwa mic wewe mtu.
Wewe unaongelesha.
Yeah, yeye ndio alianza by the way. Ibrahim Wanzala, and he didn't concede any goal against Shabana. And the last game against AFC also played very well.
And they are playing police very soon and he won't concede. Amen?
Hiyo mkono nyinyi na Mungu wewe.
Si useme amen.
Oh. Mwenye atagongo agongo, mwenye atagongana agongane.
Ni wao na Mungu.
Mimi mtu naombea tu ni Sharks peke yake, nyi wengine cater to your needs. So, yes, I am hopeful for this team. I really hope and pray that we actually do get out of the group stage. Then we go to the round-offs. Then we go to the quarters. Then the semis. And we can actually win this, man. We have the talent. We have the talent here. And we have a brilliant, amazing coach in Coach Salim Babu. So, yes. Any last words, my guy?
Me? Sidhani. But a big shout out to everyone who watches our pod. A big shout out to all my guys, all my bros. Siku zote watu wangu.
All your football player friends.
All of them. Majirani.
Wenye unawateteanga.
Wenye nateteanga.
Yeah.
Wenye watu wanajamishwa nao.
Yeah.
Because they are still my boys. Yeah. So tuombe under 20.
Yes.
Tushinde hiki kikombe.
Yes.
Tuombe Gor Mahia. Muombe team zingine juu we are bad. Team zingine, you know. Yeah.
Hey, Mimi, for my final remarks. Thank
you. A big
you.
shout out to Brice Utulie.
Yeah.
A big shout out to Otieno Naman Balecho.
Si Otieno.
Si Otieno Naman Balecho.
Yeah. Mtu wa kucheza 10 minutes. Anatolewa game.
Walinibo. A big shout out to Beshte Abri SG.
Yeah. Wow.
Anyways, I'm done, guys.
Yeah. For me, I'd like to
no,
say...
I'm Sheng.
I'd like to say... Where's Brian?
Missy.
I'd like to say thank you to everyone who watches our podcast and to everyone who reposts, shares to their friends, people who come even in the stadium and say, hi guys, I watch your podcast. Nini. I met someone during your game ya police na Kapinguri anaitwa Boniface. So shout out to Boniface, fan wa Shabana. He came and said, hi, watch your podcast. I was like, mimi nakuanga emotional. Niko like, oh, thank you.
Hebu ambie kwanza au wenye wanakuja study, mimi si journalist, waambie.
By the way, ni content creator, like in terms of photographer. So yeye anaenda tu anapiga picha, akuja podcast ya anaongea Kenya ameona. Yeah.
Journalist waende waongea na kina Mukami wa Mbora huko. Wow. Na Makumita Bidha. Na kina Eric Njiru.
Yeah, and shout out to everyone who has been coming to the stadiums and watching the games. It's amazing.
Yeah, kina Naim. Yani Naim
ulienda
polisi yani.
Tulikuwa na yeye jana. It was so nice.
Tupatane at the end of the season.
Mbaka Shabana's biggest new fan. Saddam. Saddam Al-Hussein.
No, grow up.
Yeah, Shabana's biggest fan, Saddam. Hata tulikuwa na Zuhum jana. Also shout out to Taiso. Tuliona Taiso tukiwa game, tukamsalimia.
Kuja home bro, kuja mtaa.
Yeah. Kuja Sharks. Rudi Sharks. Rudi nyumbani. Kasalimie watu wa Sharks. Yes. We ngoja. Kuna
umiza matumbo.
Yeah. And yes, and also shout out to all our football players who watch
nimesahau kuambia the best right back in the world alianzia his new team and they won. A big shout out to Rooney Onyango, man. He's the GOAT. RO 88. Yeah. He's the GOAT for a reason, wallahi. A big shout out to Snogdal ya Makumi. Snogdal. Ananiambia uliekanga notification. Nilikuwa naangalia na simu ya nani? Wewe ama Bri. Mmoja wewe.
Wallahi basi ni wewe. Ulieka notification kwa simu yangu. Nilikuwa nashangaa. Mbona nakuwa notified hivi post?
Simu yangu ilikuwa inazima. Na nilikuwa naenda job jioni.
So ukawasha notification.
Natumianga simu ya nani kushoot? Yeah. Thank you. Na wewe kazi system kubwa, kwani kazi yako ni gani?
So ukawasha notification.
Leta simu nicheze game. Unanyima mtoto simu acheze game. Leta simu nicheze game.
Niko nashangaa every single post nakwambia hivi ikipostiwa niko na notification. Nashangaa ala, mimi sikusubscribe kwa notifications. Kuna mpaka notifications za threads.
Hapana, hiyo nayo ni wao.
Nani has posted a thread?
Hiyo nayo ni yao.
Nimetumiwa mara 3
hiyo ni yao, wanakula vile mtaa. Wao ni wao, si mimi. Mimi ni IG.
Si team napata notifications zake. I want you to understand that.
Wait, that's all. Yeah, that's all for
guys,
today.
Thank you guys, we love you. Thank you for supporting our
Successful people
work.
look like you and the great Gor Mahia
and the great Kariobangi Sharks. Nunue basi kai yenye tulikuwa nayo.
Walikuwa nayo. Those are the main words.
Bye guys.